All right, this was sent into the channel by Seed Studio. Now, Seed Studio has been in the makerspace since day one, I think. So they reached out and said, "Hey, would you like to take a look at anything?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd like to look at your Lora things." So these are pre-programmed Meshtastic. So if you're familiar with Lora from the old days, so Lora used to be a local area network, and there was Lora nodes where you could have humidity thing or temperature thing, or all the way up to communicating between things. It was for long distance. So Bluetooth is a short distance. Lora got you a long distance. And the important thing of Lora is that it's a mesh, so that this device can talk to this device, can talk to another device, and it can hop. And you can hop long distances, even though each one may only do, say, a kilometer or something. Then they can hop to another one, right? And the maker community sort of got together and said, well, we want something even better. So they put something together called Meshtastic. And these are pre-programmed with Meshtastic, okay? So we'll go into that, but these are programmed with Meshtastic. Now, I've played with Meshtastic before. I have a couple devices here that I have. This is a T-Beam. In fact, it's even running here. Happy Everything Day, guys. Anyway, there are public channels where you can talk to people, okay? And then this is a little one. This is a very, very popular one. This is a Heltec module, and I've put it on a battery here to make it self-contained. Here's the little antenna. They operate in the United States. They operate at the 915 megahertz. In other countries, it's different. So be aware of that. So when you first get your device, you need to tell it what country you're in so it chooses the correct frequency band, okay? And we'll do that with this one. They sent me two, okay? So this is what it looks like. It's real professional. It looks like it's actually a molded plastic case, not 3D printed. It looks nice and heavy duty. Comes with a little flexible antenna, display. Comes with a little joystick, which is kind of cool. So there's left, right, forward, backwards, and push button and stuff like that. And it has a clock. Now I didn't have to set the clock because it went off out into the blue yonder and knew what time it was. So how did it know what time it was? It has GPS. Okay, so not only is it a Lora network, but it also has GPS. So it knows its location, okay? And you can choose to share your location with other devices. You can broadcast your location. So it's good for a tracker if you want to know where things are. Or for emergency use, you can carry it on your bicycle or whatever, so you can track your family around the neighborhood. And yeah, so battery inside, of course, USB-C, a little slide on/off switch, and like I said, the little joystick, which is kind of cool. All right, let's see. So Meshtastic, there are two kind of competing camps. There's the Meshtastic camp, and there's the Meshcore camp. I started out with Meshtastic and I went to Meshcore. So these are right now programmed for Meshcore, and these are Meshtastic. They can't talk to one another. They're separate networks. Meshtastic has been criticized at not being able to jump long distances. It's probably okay here in a metropolitan area. You can probably still find a lot of people. In fact, it says right here, 11 people. This is actually finding 11 different radios somewhere else, right? So it's connected okay. Meshcore relies on some people having repeaters. So it's more like ham radio, but there's repeaters, and you can go really long distances. So I turned one of these on. I got 600 radios that it can see. All right, so there's limited use on the display. You can send messages, but there's no keyboard on it, right? You can get devices that have a little keyboard, so you can type to one another. But if you have a little device like this, there are apps, okay? And so let me get the Meshtastic app here. Okay, so it Bluetooths to this thing. Okay, so now these are connected. All right, and it gives you a map. So here's all the other nodes that it's talking to. So these are people who have shared their locations, right? And so I'm here in Santa Clara, but here's somebody over in Cupertino, here's somebody up in Los Gatos. So these are all other radios that it's currently seeing, right? Here's one just popped up in Palo Alto. Yeah, so, and they can hop multiple, right? This one can talk to that one can talk to that one, and they can kind of relay messages and stuff. So that's the way that works. Here's the other people that I'm seeing right now. You can put, this is me, I'm 9C82. You can change your name. Here's one called High Top. Here's one called Diablo. And you can actually also create clients and routers. So routers a little bit more powerful and are good high locations that can like transmit to other places. So here's a router, probably on Mount Diablo, since it's called Diablo. That's a mountain nearby me. So if you're up on a mountain, you can of course go more line of sight, because these are 900 megahertz, so they don't have great line of sight, right? You need to have some elevation. Anyway, so these are all the different nodes that are I'm currently seeing on this device. So now imagine that you're in the Holocaust and and all hell's broken loose, and all the websites are down and all of the self-traffic is down. You can't use your iPhone anymore because AT&T busted. You can still use this. These guys are still working. Okay, so you could actually click on one person. You could actually see, he's one of these little guys. I could actually send him a message right now if I wanted to. So you can send messages. So, you know, if you had two of these, which I do, then I can use this one as an app on my iPhone. The iPhone doesn't have to be connected to anything. It's just Bluetooth to this, right? So imagine this is just a remote display for this device, okay? So I have a remote display. I can do all kinds of messages and stuff. And I give this to my wife, and now she has remote messages and stuff. And then we can talk to one another without having to go through the cells or the Wi-Fi or anything like that, okay? These are independent networks. So that's kind of like what people are like about them, all right? Okay, like I said, show you the map. Here's messages, channels. Is it primary channel? I did send a message to somebody in Cupertino just to make sure it worked. Yeah, so I don't think there's a lot else to say about it. Let's open up a fresh box here. I'll show you what's in the box. The box is nice in that it has some QR codes in the back that say, here's the user guide, so you can click on that. You can go to the user guide. There's actually a bunch of user videos that tell you how to get started easily and stuff, so you know nothing about it. Go see their videos, and it'll tell you how to get it up and running and stuff. And there's a Discord on this thing. All right, so in the box we get a little ring of the device with a little red cap on it, and we get the little antenna, so we need to screw the antenna on, all right? So let's let's put it straight so it works better. SMA. All right, so is it on? Let's see. Yeah, there goes do. Okay, it says, welcome to Meshtastic. Use the select button. So you say, okay, that's a push button here. And it's asking you, are you in the US? Are you in Europe, which is 433 megahertz? Are you in Europe at 868 megahertz? I'm in the US. I'm going to click, I'm going to use the little toggle thing here, toggle down to US, click the button. I'm in the US. And then it reboots it, and it's now setting it up for 915 megahertz. And it needs a reboot to do that. So it has a programmable radio that has a pretty wide frequency range. There you go, Meshtastic organization. And then, yeah, so then it says no satellites found yet. It takes a while for the GPS to find the messages. Yeah, there's preset messages. You can just send hi or bye or yes and stuff. There's some pre-programmed things. There's no way to type on here, so, but you can send the pre. So you could send a message out to something, hey, are you there? You can say yes, or you could do things like that. Messages, last heard, it hasn't heard anybody yet. Bearings, it'll give you where you are if it finds a satellite. It says that we're on US. We're actually transmitting on 9.06.875 megahertz. Uptime 1 minute. Here's our time, which is incorrect because I probably need to tell them where I am. All right, time format. I want 12 hours and oops. Time zone, I'm in US Pacific. And there we go, 7:37 p.m., which is correct. So it knows the time. All right. So I think you get the idea, right? All right, let me do this demo, okay? This device is actually this device. It's E01F. So I'm going to click on this. And I am going to send a message, okay? So we'll go to messages. We'll do a direct message. All right. I am going to try to send this guy a message. Let's see here. Let's send this guy a message. Late for dinner. And I'm going to hit enter. And this guy beeps. New message. It says late for dinner. Okay? All right. So can I reply? Let's see here. Reply via preset. Okay. Send message. Yes. Okay. And then over here, it said, okay. Whoa. So you can send long messages, but it's a pain in the patootie to do. Let's see here. New. Let's see here. Back. How do you get there? You can scroll over and go arrow to click. Yeah, see if I can find it again. I saw it in here once. Oh, here we go. Free text. You say free text. And then here's the whole keyboard, right? So you can say 673. That'll be a code. 673 means something in oops. Let's see here. Enter. 6733. And this guy says 6733. Anyway, you can imagine that you can talk to back and forth to one of these things, okay? Not the greatest demonstration, but you get the idea. So once again, these things are on a mesh, and they don't rely on any infrastructure. Now, you can, I believe with Meshtastic, you can cross over to Wi-Fi. There's a way to cross the barrier to Wi-Fi, but that kind of negates the whole reason to have these things, I believe. But you can then message your friend in England or something, right? So you can cross the barrier, but it's not going to work if the whole world goes down. These guys will still work, but you won't be able to use the Wi-Fi part of it. So anyway, yeah, there you go. I think we'll end the video by taking a look inside this thing and see how it looks inside. All right, I've taken out the 4 screws on the top. Let's see here, what's going on? I've lost my button already. This button have to release. There we go. It does. I don't want to lose my buttons. All right. Oh, and a little button on the side too, so be careful when you open yours up. So here's the battery. Oh, pretty healthy battery. I like that. 2,000 milliamp hours. Okay. So that's good. Let's see here. We've got two antennas. We've got a GPS module here. All right. So here's the patch antenna, and here is the duck antenna. And so we've got a Seed Studio sticker on that one. So it's been FCC certified by Seed. And wow, it's more complicated than I thought it was going to be, so it looks pretty nice. Let me get out a magnifying glass here. So under this metal can here, it's marked L76K from Quectel, Q-U-E-C, Quectel, Quectel. Not familiar with them. This is probably this is an M52840 microprocessor, and like I said here, this is a Seed Studio SX1262. Yeah, I'll put it closer here. Very, very nice. Looks good. Like I said, it's got the little joystick. That's the first time I've seen this little joystick before. It's kind of cute. I might have to use that in one of my projects. A little left, right, push button. I like that. Looks like there's a programming header here. You can program it over USB. I'm going to try to flash Meshcore in it, see if I can get that going. I think it's compatible. There's a reset button, on-off button, some LEDs, a charging LED and a power LED. I believe there is a temperature and humidity sensor and stuff in here too, so it can give you some stats for that. Pretty standard these days. Anyway, yeah, there you go. I do like the size of the battery. I was expecting a smaller one, but this one seems like it will last a while. These things are a little power hungry. I had this one on this big battery, but it was draining it down, so I'm not sure how long this would last. You might not want to have it on all the time. Comment below if you know how long these things will run. Looks like there's some extra goodies here too. Another battery connector. Oh, it's a solar. Interesting. And then there's maybe a I2C socket here for additional sensors and stuff. Maybe you can attach things here. I believe that the software, the Meshtastic and Meshcore, if it sees an I2C device it understands, it actually will add that, and you can get telemetry data and things like that. But yeah, pretty nice little device. I like it. Anyway, link down below. They're about $47. So, you know, reasonable. They're not cheap, but reasonable. Yeah, there you go.